On Monday. I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. Let's see. Do we have anybody on yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Lynn Bonner is watching.
Hey, Lynn, how are you?
Mary Vitti.
Hey, Mary Vitti, how are you feeling? Okay, I'm trying to get to you guys.
Cindy Gygax.
Hi, Cindy.
And Melissa Byrne. Diana Hensley.
Hi, girls, how are you?
Peggy Gatto and Frank Harris. Fran Harris.
Fran? I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. So I was going to demo how to attach binding, but apparently I left it at home. I took it with us to the cabin to sew most of it on so I could just do one corner and then the finishing touches, because I know you always need a reminder since you don't do bindings every day. It's always good to have a reminder on how to do it. Okay, so instead I'm going to improvise and I'm going to do a little bit of free motion quilting, almost like thread painting, but not really. I'm just going to be using my zigzag stitch, but I am going to be using, and I don't know if you can see this, it's a twisted thread with two threads, a black and a white thread. And they're both 40 weight, so that is the equivalent of a 20 weight thread. So it's thicker. But instead of running two threads through my machine, which I kind of like to do because it covers more space, this will have the threads evenly spaced. So you get black and white evenly. If you use two threads, it sometimes lays unevenly. Can you get to the door? Thank you. So this is what I'm working on. This is called Bliss. And it's by Barbara Pershing, and I've got a lot of it done. I did work on it quite a bit this weekend. So this is what I need to stitch. So I'm going to use the black and white thread for all of my black and white steps. So just to show you real quick, and if you're new to watching, we kind of just, oops, I don't need this mask. We kind of improvise, but we try to teach you something new every day. And it might be that you already know how to do it, but sometimes it's good to just have a refresher. So I love this thread stand, one, because it's portable, so I can take it apart and it gets real compact to take to shows and to retreats, although we're not traveling too much right now. Although I feel like I'm traveling more now than I was before. What's she looking for? Oh, is that Linda? Yeah. It's right there by the old cash register. Do you see it, Colleen? It's blue. Okay, hang on a second. So if you're new to joining us, sometimes we have to help customers that actually come into the shop. So Roger, you can give them a tour of something. Yep, that's it. And then you just pull
Oh, ladies.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here we are. Do you have any questions, Roger?
Everyone's just saying hello. Good morning.
Good morning, girls. Anybody have something exciting that happened over the Thanksgiving break? I know I said I was going to take the week off, but I didn't really, but I sort of did. I did a lot less than I normally would have. So I'm just randomly changing my stitch length, but I am going to put on my free motion foot. You guys must be experts at changing your feet because you have to watch me change them every time I demo.
Thank you, ladies.
What do you say?
They're thanking me for helping you.
Oh, well, it's a two-man show. I couldn't do it by myself. No exciting stories of what happened over the weekend. Well, it's been a week. And I do have more cross stitch and embroidery kits to give out. My sister said it's like 1980 called.
What does that mean?
Because they're out of my mom's attic. Does that ring a bell, Roger?
Yeah.
So anytime you get a gift from my mom, you can guarantee it's out of the attic. And I think the last time she bought, was stocking up on gifts to give. So she used to just buy things in advance so she'd have them when she needed them. So there was a closet in my bedroom that was like the gift closet when I was like 12 or 13 or 14. And that had gifts in it that were like 10 or 15 years old because she forgot who she'd bought it for. But now she's cleaning out her attic, which is actually her sewing room, but it's 1,500 square feet. So she's got a lot of treasures there. Okay, so I'm going to do kind of a free motion stitch. I always like to work from the back to the front. You can just let that go to voicemail till after we're done. Always help. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do kind of a free motion stitch. Hopefully it's a good stitch because I didn't practice it. So I'm going to do the leaf behind the vine first. And I'm going to pick up my thread because you're watching. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I would like to think I always did. But, you know, sometimes I work faster than I should. So my foot is down, but I do have it on a zigzag stitch. Oh, but it's not a very big, so, it's not a very big zigzag stitch, as you can see here. I don't know if Roger's getting in close. So I don't really love that. So I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Okay, let's see if this one's better. I kind of think if you're going to go to the trouble of stitching things down, you want to be able to see all of your fun embroidery stitches. So this would be a perfect opportunity to use your fancy embroidery stitches, except for that I don't think this is a pretty basic model machine. I do not think it I don't think it has any cute embroidery stitches, but if I was doing it at home, I could totally change. And I want to remind you guys that on Friday, we've got 2 $75 gift certificates for sharing. So share all of our posts with your friends and remind them to join us on Friday for our celebration, which this whole mess here is from the last celebration, but it should be cleaned up and gone and all new stuff out. And Roger has been unpacking all morning. I think when he saw the back room, he wanted to cry. When he saw all the new boxes, and he doesn't realize that I got a message from FedEx and UPS that they tried to deliver during the holiday, but we weren't here, so they're going to be delivering. So I think we're going to have double packages when they get here. Okay. Okay, let's see if this one's better. So I should stop and look at this and make sure I like it before I go too far, because with the satin stitch, it's going to be really hard to rip it out. But I'm just going to have faith that it's looking amazing. And I personally don't want it to be super straight because nothing in nature really is perfect. And then I'll probably go in when I long arm quilt it. I'll probably go in maybe into the leaves and do little vines. Okay, any questions, Roger? So I don't know, because I've never used the black and white D-twist with the 2 threads, black thread and a white thread. I don't know if I'm going to love it or not, but the only way you're going to know if you like a new product is if you use it. So I think that's kind of fun. It's black and it's white, and since all of these fabrics are black and white, I think that that will be perfect. So I'm going to do one more just to show you free motion. So a lot of people would do this zigzag with a straight stitch and then just do the regular zigzag. I personally don't like the regular zigzag on this kind of an applique because it's too structured and it's too formatted. Okay, I think Roger has something to say. I can hear him.
No.
Nothing? Okay, girls. Nobody has any Thanksgiving stories? Nobody burnt their turkey or... So one of the good things about the free motion foot, and I do typically sew with my needle in the down position, so when I stop it doesn't move. Did I do something wrong?
Now I'm trying to figure out whether you want me to watch your stitching motion or do I do a visual view?
Oh, always the stitching. Everybody knows what I look like already.
No.
Okay, so the great thing about having your free motion foot on is when you're doing this, you can go backwards. So instead of always having to flip your fabric, you can go frontwards, you can go backwards. And I do like to do this at home because my machine at home has a thread cutter. So it just cuts my thread every time I stop and want to start somewhere else. But okay. All right, so also what we have for every purchase next Friday during the celebration, everybody's going to get one of these bundles of ribbons. So there's 5 different 1-yard pieces in every bundle. So everybody on Friday will get one of those in their purchase. Okay, I'm going to do one more just because Roger likes the practice of zooming in and out. So I'm going to do this stem right here. And then on Wednesday, I know I've been telling you this for a couple of days, but on Wednesday, I will actually finish sewing the binding on. Uh-oh.
And Lindemeyer wants to know, are you using a D-twist on this applique?
Yes, and like I'm too cheap to buy a lot of bobbins. Actually, I was up in Tahoe and I didn't have my bobbins. So, yeah, I'm using a D-twist black and white. So this is kind of the effect that I'm getting. Here, I've used it here, and I've just got a zigzag. I have a zigzag programmed on my machine, but then I've got the free motion foot so I can move it where I want to move it. So I didn't know if I wanted to use like just a black thread or a white thread, but I thought it would be too harsh on here. So that's why I'm using the black and white D-twist. Okay, so I'm going to do one more if I can get this to work right. And I know you've never done this before because you guys all have lots of bobbins, but I needed a light thread, and I only had 2 black bobbins when I was in Tahoe this week. So I loaded a light thread onto one of my black threaded bobbins. So that's something not to do, girls. Do not load thread on top of your thread because it just creates a mess. Okay, I'm going to do this one right here. And I'm still looking for somebody, well, a few people that want to be featured on one of our lives doing like a virtual quilt show. So if you got out 4, 5, 6 quilts and showed us, just because we want to be inspired this holiday season on things to do. Okay, so I'm just running my zigzag. And then I haven't done my purple stitching yet, so I'm just going to pull my thread over because I'll catch that when I do my purple thread. Oh my gosh, have you guys started binge watching Virgin River yet? I think I watched 9 episodes last night in bed. And I should have sewn my binding on then, but instead I just vegetated. Okay, so here is what it looks like. That's the black and white thread with the zigzag. Okay, so that's your little technique today. Let's see.
Diane Hensley's. So you have it set to zigzag stitch.
I have it on a 1.0 for the straight stitch and a 2.0 for the zigzag. So that's how wide it's going to be. Do I have a favorite machine? Not necessarily. I do love these. I mean, these little Genomes are workhorses, and I've had them since I opened the shop. But they just keep ticking. I do like my Bernina, but I have a Bernina from it was like the last of the first of the computerized machines back 30 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, and the mouse has broken, and I've taken it in several times to have them fix the mouse, but they can't seem to, it works for a little bit when it comes home, and then you can't get the mouse to move. So it still is super great for free motion and straight stitching, so I do use it for that. But anything else, I actually have a pink Eversewn machine at home that I love, mostly because it's pink and cute. I'm waiting for them to come out with a purple one, but I would like the Eversewn to get a little bit more sturdy. Eversewn, I think, is made by Bernina. I'm pretty sure, but it's got its own brand. But it's not as nicely made as I would like it to be. So I'm hoping that they make that a little bit nicer.
Beverly Ann wants to know, what needle do you use?
Well, Beverly Ann, I'd like to tell you the truth, but honestly, whatever needle is in there is whatever needle I could get my hands onto. So I'm going to say it's probably a 90-14 because that's what I typically use. A 90-14 will let you put in the thicker threads. A lot of times I like a 12-weight thread for thread painting. So the 90-14 top stitch is great for that. So I would venture to say, if I had to guess, it's a 90-14. But if I'm just piecing, I love a 70 needle because it's so fine, it's like butter. So it depends on what I'm doing in a perfect world, but in reality, it's probably whatever I can get my hands on. And I do not change my needle consistently because I have no idea when the last time it was I changed it. But I break them pretty frequently because I'm pretty rough moving my fabrics around when I'm doing free motion. So I don't think my needles ever really get that old. But you'll know when it starts to make a tick noise, you'll know it's time to change your needle.
And Linda Meyer, is it in the bobbin too?
No, in the bobbin is just a 40 or 50 weight, your regular piecing threads. I don't really ever put anything too heavy in my bobbin because then you have to start playing with your tension. I do, oh, it's so hot in here. It was freezing this morning. It was 17 degrees when I was driving the kids to school. So I typically have a 40 or 50 weight in my bobbin. Sometimes, though, I will do a deco bob or an Invisafill in my bobbin, only because it lasts much longer. But it's the higher number of your thread, the thinner your thread is, which doesn't necessarily mean it's not as strong. It's just finer. Kind of like if you're using a 100 weight, it's going to be sort of like a monopoly, but it's polyester, so it's stronger. But if I'm doing thread painting, I want the thickness of the 50 weight.
And Mary Vitti likes the black and white thread. Lynn Bonner, not the second season yet.
It started, Lynn. I'm already on episode 9. Yes, Diana, it's on a zigzag stitch. Ooh, Judith made a banana cream pie and poured a whole bottle of cinnamon in the crust. Oh, whoopsie. I was going to say that would be really good, except for it would be too cinnamony. Uh-oh. So I hope you had some extras in your refrigerator so you could still make another one. But things happen. Okay, girls. So I don't have much to show you today because we're just getting back to the shop and trying to... It was one of those mornings when I came in and I said, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. So I did one quilt on the long arm for a customer and got a bunch of them ready to be called to be picked up. So we're trying to get cleaned up so we'll be ready for Friday's sale. And Wednesday, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing, but I'm sure it will be fabulous. So tell all of your friends to join us on Friday at noon. Share with everybody and let us know so we can put you in the drawing because we're going to do 2 $75 drawings. And then everybody's going to get 5 yards of the metallic-y, glittery yarns. All right, any other questions?
Wanted to know what TV series.
Oh, Virgin River, Mary. It's on Netflix. Okay, anything else, Roger?
No.
Okay, girls, we're going to go so that we can try to get caught up. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. And if you know of anything you want us to demo, let us know. All right. Have a good couple of days. Thank you.